Welcome, sweet souls. My name is Tara. Welcome to my channel. My intention and goal in doing these videos around natural law and sovereignty is to help you, if we can use that word help, to be a guide, a facilitator, in inviting you to, well, learn more, so knowledge for one, but also to transmute, to see and be able to transmute some of these energies that are holding you back from taking the action into more sovereignty in your daily life. Because it really is first, well, side by side, but it's inner work as much as it's outer work, as much as it's doing the paperwork and writing the letters and doing the notices, whatever it is whatever route that you take, correcting your status, revoking your election, all these different things are here for you to transmute more fear inside of your system, right? So I always try to keep this short, and I do also apologize if you're finding the video quality lacking. I do myself. So I've tried so many different cameras and things, in my podcasting years and all of that. And yeah, I'm still working on it. So just bear with me with that and, pay attention to the content and even just listen to my voice. So thank you for being here. And today I want to talk about this fear-based energy, which is something that is very prevalent in this field of work. Well, that lots of people are doing and talking about, and I will tell you, there could be 100 ways to do the same thing. Okay, so this is really about this journey that you're on. If you're choosing to be on this journey of more freedom through natural law, internally and externally, and taking these actions. If you're on this journey, you will find that it is a up-leveling of knowing who you are, like really inner, knowing who you are and rooting that and grounding that and holding that energy, right? And the more I've found in my personal experience and with clients, the more action that you take externally, the more it roots in you and transmutes that fear into courage, at the very least, courage to take these actions and to do this work. There's a lot of fear-based energy in this field. People that are doing this work, people that are teaching, and everybody, has their own style. And if something resonates with you, go for it. If you resonate with me, great. If you don't, no problem. On to the next. Like, I have no personal agenda in this other than to share my experiences and my knowledge and hopefully to help you. So I really just want to talk about this fear-based energy today and maybe give a tip or two on how to begin to, the first step, how to begin to transmute it so that you can actually start taking action, because it is holding you back. And to hold fear in your system, once you recognize it, once you know it's there and you have an awareness, then it's a choice to keep that fear, to let that fear keep you from taking action. Because we can take action while we are feeling fear inside. And that's okay, because that is one thing that will help to transmute that fear into, the higher levels of consciousness. And this isn't a better than or worse than. We're humans. We go on the scale of the lower levels of consciousness of fear and grief and sadness and all these things that we need to work through, in certain situations, to these higher levels of consciousness, right? And this comes from David Hawkins' work, and he's brilliant and amazing. And I read his book so many years ago and have just been delightfully reintroduced. It's so cool when, like, you did something a long time ago and then it kind of phases out and then it comes back and you're like, wow, and you are able to see it it's a whole new light, and it's so much fuller and richer. Anyway, side note, tangent. Fear-based energy. So, okay, let's say that you really want to revoke your election to pay income tax, okay? And you're going to write your letter. And I've seen this. I've seen this happen where you go and maybe you look online or you say, oh, okay, this person's doing this and this person's doing this, and this person says, oh, you better know this, and you better say this or do this or whatever. And there's, say you have 10 different templates in front of you and you're like, crap, what do I do? Which one do I choose? And okay, so before we even get there, the first thing that I'm inviting you to do is, instead of going to the mind, right? Because the mind's going to go crazy. That's its job, is literally, well, its true job is to help us like plan and, with logistics and things like that, and to discern, and the higher mind can be used for that. The lower mind, the mind that just goes crazy and wants to tell a bunch of stories, will continue to go crazy, and it will hold you back. It will keep you from doing anything in your life, not just in this, but in every way, right? And it'll keep you stuck, and it'll keep you judging yourself and judging others. And it's just a total shit show in your mind, literally. So we have to set that aside, or the mind is not going to stop thinking. So I like Michael Singer talks about going, just staying behind the mind. Just step back. Go, oh, okay, the mind's doing its thing. Actually, that's not my business, because the mind, thinks it's trying to keep me safe and protect me and all the things, but it's not doing that. It's keeping you from your greatness, literally keeping you from yourself, your true self. So take a step back, come into, we can call it soul, consciousness, or spirit, your intuition, right? There are many different names, and those can be slightly different things actually, but it doesn't matter what you call it. The place in you that you can come to, that's always there, right? It's been there. You can look in the mirror when you're 5 years old and when you're 95 years old. Your body looks different, but your true essence, your soul, who you really are, is the same, because it's you. You are soul. Okay, I know this is, if you're coming here just for the quick hit fix of like, how do I fill out my revocation of election? This is obviously, you probably figured out, this is not the place. I do teach that. I do share that. I do help people and guide them through the actual practical paperwork stuff. However, it's so important for me to share this, because it holds people back and it keeps them from inner freedom, which then keeps them from more outer freedom, right, in the world. So where was I? Sorry, distracted. So yeah, so you're taking a step back. You're coming into that place in you that knows the truth. Okay, there's a place in you that knows the truth, and it is not the mind. The mind does not know the truth of you. It just tells you stories. It's there to help you once you've discerned. Once you're like, oh, your soul gives you this nudge. Oh, it's a yes, or oh, it's a no. And then the mind can be used to help carry that out, that action step or what have you. So first ask yourself, is this for me? Is this for me right now? Is this right for me right now? Okay. And eventually, once you practice this, you don't have to ask, you just know, right? In here. And if I find it so helpful, just put your hand on your heart space or your chest or somewhere where it's like, oh, I'm here, I'm right here. I'm not here. I'm not out here in any of the endless and unlimited information. I'm right here. Is this the thing for me to do? Okay, say you get a yes, and your spirit's like, hell yeah, I'm so ready. I'm so into this. I'm so ready to do this. Okay, great. And if the mind is going and you're confused and you actually don't have an answer, then it's the mind. It's not truth. It's not you. It's just confused, and it's the mind. So don't, just let it go and come back to it at another time when you can settle and you can step back and you can really be in yourself and ask this question: is this for me? Okay. So then you got to trust that, right? You got to trust yourself. You either trust it or you don't. There is no in between. You either trust the yes, say you get a yes, you trust the yes or you don't. If you don't trust the yes, then you went just straight back up into the mind. The elevator just went boop. And, so you can go, oh, okay, well, that's the mind. Well, what do I really say? How do I really feel about it? It's okay to take some time with this, you know, and then trust it. You get a yes, you trust it. Okay, now I have 10 templates in front of me. What? And you can use this same method to sort out like, wow, that one, you know what? That one is 10 pages. That's not, and this would be me, right? Anything that's over like a page or two, I mean, unless it's something that really requires to be over a page or two, I'm out. Because for me, my soul, simple, simple, simple. The least, less is more. Less is more. And that's true for a lot of things in a lot of ways in life. Less is more. So I'm not doing a 10 pager. So anything that's not a page or two is out. So now I have, now I have 3 templates in front of me and I'm like, oh, okay. The language of this one, the language of this one, what resonates, what feels right to me. And you can change these templates, right? You can word them differently. And definitely if you don't understand a term or you don't understand something, look it up. Everything. So you can Google or search whatever search engine you use. You can find that anywhere these days. And a lot of these terms are going to be in Black's Law Dictionary, um, you know, or just online. I mean, there's a lot of good websites that will tell you, or just the definition of a word, right? So know what everything is, and then choose the one that feels the best for you. Okay, and the mind will still try to go crazy and tell you, oh, I better this person. If fear's coming in and saying, I got to do it this way because of fear of some kind, you can totally listen to that if you want. I mean, you do whatever you want, obviously. But if you want to transmute this fear-based energy in you, and if you have it in this area of life, that means it's probably showing up in other areas of life. Maybe not every area, but that's what all our dis-ease in the body is. It comes from fear in our system, in our cells, right? From most likely childhood or past lives or ancestral. It's all of it together. Experience we had yesterday, whatever. But that's the mind going to the past, right? If you're in the past or you're in the future, you're in the mind, period. You cannot be in soul and be in the past or the future. You can only be right here in the present moment and be in the soul and humble yourself to your, that's what sovereignty is, an inner master. That's what sovereignty is, guys. Inner master, right? The master of your being, It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful when you begin to develop a relationship with this part of yourself. And then you never have to go to the mind to question anything, any decision, nothing. So, and there's something else I was saying. Crap, I always do this. Forget my train of thought. So yeah, well, I was saying you probably have fear-based energy in other areas of your life. And this is something that creates disease in the body. All these quote unquote mental issues that people have, even severe ones, right? It's fear, likely from trauma. And it doesn't mean we have to go digging up all the trauma. I mean, we might, but that may not be necessary. So come back to, and what is this master of your being? And as this beautiful Indian teacher calls it, bend to your soul. It's this humility of like bending. Like my mind doesn't know better than my soul. And again, you can call whatever you want. I'm just calling it soul because it's easy. And it's, bend, just surrender to that, to find your answers. Even for this work that seems very, very practical and logical. And it is, and there are details that are important. There's language that's important, all of it. But start here, because if you don't start here and you start out there with all the practical stuff, that's what causes the overwhelm and the overthinking and then not doing anything. If you're in a place where you've been thinking about this for a long time or studying it, and you haven't taken action and you haven't done anything, or you're scared, you are experiencing fear in your system. Okay. And that is a choice. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can recognize it and go, oh, I don't want that. Do you want to live in fear? Do you want to have fear in your system? This is not an overnight thing. This is a process. And there's absolutely no judgment in it, because we all have it. If you're alive and you're human, you're going to have some fear in your system until you do the work to let it transmute. Energy doesn't just go away. It's got to turn into something else so we can move it up and transmute it into other beautiful energies that actually serve us and don't keep us in the lower chakras and the lower systems where we're just reacting out of fear. Ooh, protecting ourselves. Oh God, I don't want to experience that because it's going to bring up this other thing. You know, we're just in protection mode. That's not life. That's not living. That's just like survival. That's just like, oh God. And it's the same with if you're like, oh no, I can't do anything. Oh, I heard that so-and-so, this other thing happened to so-and-so when they did their, you know, whatever action that you're taking, right? So-and-so went to jail, you know, all of these things. It's all fear. It's all fear. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you're feeling stuck, I hope that's helpful for you. Know that I offer consulting, coaching, and guidance around this. And as you can see, I mean, I definitely can sit down with you and just help you, you know, bang out some paperwork. Like, yes, that's correct. No, that, you know, not correct, but like, yes, you could do it this way, and here, you know, you got to do what resonates for you. And here are the addresses to send it to. You know, I definitely can do that with you. But also as you can see, I do a lot of the inner stuff too, because that has to be addressed. It has to be addressed, in my opinion. In other people's opinion, it doesn't, and that's okay, and that's fine. And if that resonates for you, great. I'll do another video on permission, but you don't need permission from anyone but yourself to do anything, especially this work, but anything in life, right? You don't need to ask permission. Okay, much love, you guys. Oh, and my course, I know this is like I'm saying this at the end, but my next round of my course is starting on Monday, October 14th. I know this is only a few days away, but if you're interested, email me, tara@taralong.com. I'll put all that information below. You can go to my website, Natural Law, and you'll see everything there, taralong.com. And join us. Yeah, join us for my 7-week Be Free course where I go through, you know, all the content, all the practical content stuff. And then we can talk about all this inner stuff as well. Okay, sending so much love to you guys.